Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Fine, thanks.
Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, all.
My greetings
My
from
greetings from
Alexandria.
Alexandria.
This is
Hello.
Nikhil
Hello,
Raj-
good evening. Raj.
Nikhil Raj from
Nikhil Raj from the Rotary Club of Madras.
Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
nice meeting you.
معي المحافظ.
Ahlan,
Hello.
ahlan, Tariq. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good
all?
evening, our
We're all
DGE.
good, thank you.
Good.
Hello, Aisha.
Hello there, Naveen. Hello, everyone. Good evening from Turkey.
Hello.
İyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar, Tarek.
Nasılsın?
Thank you very much. İyiyim. Thank you. And you?
I'm fine.
Nice to see you.
Me too.
Nice seeing you all.
This is Salim Khan.
Hello, Ahlan
Hello.
Salim.
Salim, how are you?
Good. And so,
President-elect. So we are starting our meeting, and we'll start with Hadi. And it's nice to have you all. As we go along, people will be joining us as we go along. We don't want to start later than this.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all for this third International Inspirational Speaker Series that Rotary Club of ElTahrir District 2451 has initiated this year. We are proud to have you all on board with us for this meeting with our Rotary International President-elect, Mario Cesar, and look forward to a very interesting discussion. Unfortunately, our president is not with us at the moment yet, so I will leave the mic to Naveen to introduce the speakers and the topic. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Hadi. Actually, I would like to thank our Rotary International President-elect, Mario Cesar, for being with us, for joining us, and for giving us some of his precious time. And before we start, I'd like to thank the DGEs and the DGs and everyone who is with us here. And special thanks to the districts that are joining us, District 2430 Turkey and 92452 and District 9400 of South Africa, and the other countries that are with it. And we have also we have participants from India, from Canada, from Singapore. We have from the different countries. We have from Kenya as well. We have our past TRF trustee, Ms. Geeta Manek, also with us. So I would leave it now to past President Aisha to introduce our the districts from Turkey, so that we can to say the opening and welcome notes from the Turkish side. And we are really glad to have this for the third time this year, that we have our international speakers, and we will keep going on. And I would like to mention to everyone that on the 24th of February, we are celebrating 120 years of Rotary. So District 2452 is joining in this, and also District 2451. District 2451, I'm proud to be leading the organization of the celebration, and it's going to be from 10 to 11 a.m. Cairo time. This is there are 24-hour celebration, non-stop celebration around the clock that is taking place from on the mid of the 23rd until the mid of the 24th, which is the first day the founders of Rotary started. So this is here how we start. So it's now with you, Aisha.
Thank you, dear Naveen. Good evening, everyone. This is our pleasure to join in this meeting from Turkey, from District 2430. It's always so exciting to be a part of these international Zoom meetings. And I would like to thank to dear Naveen and Hadi and the Rotary Club of ElTahrir, which is soon to be the twin club of my club, Rotary Club of Samsun. Tonight, it's also an honor for us to host the Rotary International President-elect Mario Cesar in this meeting. I would like to inform you about the names of the clubs who are attending right now in this meeting from Turkey, from District 2430. The 7 Rotary clubs from Samsun, our city, are here. Also, Ordu, Ünye, Sinop, Trabzon, Amasya, from several cities around the Black Sea region are participating, and 3 Rotary clubs from Samsun. They are also here, the Rotary actors. I would like to thank to all of them for participating tonight. And from our district, we have a special guest, our guest of honor from our side, who is our DGE, Can Çığırgan. I would like to introduce you, dear Governor Can. He is with us. He's a member of Rotary Club of Ankara Tandoğan. He is a Rotarian for about 30 years and very experienced and a proud Rotarian. And I would like to leave the parole now to dear Can to say hello to you, to present his greetings.
Thank you, Ayşemine. Dear District Governor-elects, dear District Governor nominees, the members of my Rotary family, esteemed guests, welcome to all of you. Today we are gathered here to listen our common values and draw inspiration from our leaders. I truly believe that this meeting will open doors to new horizons, both individually and collectively, and spark an inspiring journey for all of us. I wish everyone a productive, enjoyable, and memorable meeting. Without further ado, I eagerly look forward to start of our gathering, sending you all my warmest regards and respects. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Naveen, also our club president Hakan.
Yes.
Yes, he's here.
Yeah. Great, Hakan. Great to see you again.
Hi, is my voice okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I
Yes, you can
talk
say.
about? Yeah.
Yes, we can see you now.
Okay. Everything's okay. Okay. Welcome everyone to our themed How to Grow and Innovate Through Rotary meeting. My name is Hakan Dinçer. I am the club president to the Rotary Club of Samsun in Rotary International District 2430. My club was founded in 1966 and it is the 6th Rotary Club founded in Turkey. I am proud to be a member of this great family here with Rotary members are working for world peace and understanding, promoting the goodwill in the world and serving above themselves. With our Rotary family, which I joined in 2015, I served in many fields and took active roles in projects during this magical year. I would like to express my endless thanks to all my club members who support me during this time and who are here with us in this meeting tonight. In this magical Rotary year that started under the leadership of our Rotary International President Stephanie Yurchik and our District Governor Kerem Muradi, we are excited to hold a joint international Zoom meeting with Rotary Club of ElTahrir, soon to be our twin club, and many other clubs and districts, and to inspirational speaker Rotary International President-elect Mario Cesar. This is an honor for us. I would like to thank our district secretary responsible for international services and district executive secretary Ayşemine Ergun who is also a member to our Rotary Club of Samsun, for the international support she gives and her superior efforts to make this meaningful meeting happen. I wish that our meeting will be useful and beneficial for all of us. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
Hakan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And would like to have the introductions of also from DGE Maria from South Africa and Botswana, and to introduce also her words and her districts. And then we will be going with DGE Hossam Farahat to introduce our honorable guest speaker, Rotary International President-elect Mario Cesar. So, Maria, DGE Maria.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. I'm DGE Maria Angelica Salomão from the Rotary Club of Maputo in District 9400. We are 4 countries in that district. The major number of Rotarians are in South Africa, but we also integrate, the district also integrates Botswana, Eswatini, South Mozambique, and the northeast part of South Africa. So I hope that we have an enjoyable meeting, and thanks for organizing this, and we look forward to next meetings. Thank you.
Great, thank you, thank you. Okay, we will now go to our DGE Hossam Farahat, the district governor-elect for District 2451 Egypt, and he will be introducing our honorable speaker, Rotary International President-elect Mario Cesar.
Hello, everybody. I would like at the beginning to thank Rotary Club of ElTahrir for the kind invitation to be part of this international gathering of Rotarians from across the world. It's always a pleasure to meet, even virtually, friends and fellows from around the globe. I would like to thank you all for being with us today, and I'm introducing Mario Cesar Martinez de Camargo, the President-elect of Rotary International 2425. That's he will be the Rotary International President 2526. He's coming from the Rotary Club of Santo André in Brazil. Mario is a businessman. He's working in the printing and paper industry. He has a degree in law and a higher degree in business administration from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He led numerous professional associations in the business of printing in not only in Brazil, but all over the continent of South America. As for the Rotary history of Mario joined Rotary in 1988. In 1980, at the age of 23, he is a past director and a trustee. He will be the 4th Brazilian to serve as president of Rotary International. He has also volunteered in numerous international roles, including as RI learning facilitator, zone coordinator for the Avoidable Blindness Task Force, Latin American coordinator for Health Problems Task Force, a Rotary International President Representative, and delegate to Council of Legislation. He has also served on committees, including the IRI Membership Development Committee, the Rotary Foundation Programs Finance Committee, and the International Polio Plus Committee. Mario is a recipient of Rotary Foundation Distinguished Service Award. He and his wife Denise are level 3 major donors and benefactors of the Rotary Foundation. I don't, if I keep telling you things, I think I will be the only one who will be doing the talking, because the history of Mario is long enough. But I would like to stress on one thing that I loved most. He is a lifelong learner. Even during the COVID crisis, he achieved degrees in, I think, law and business administration. And this is really remarkable. I'm looking forward to hear you, Mario. So please go ahead. I would like to ask everybody to switch
Mute.
off their microphones, please, and listen. And if you have any questions during the talk, you can easily write it down in the chat box. I am reading the chat in here. Also, you can raise hand if you have anything in mind. So the floor is yours, Mario. Thank you very much for being with us today. Please.
Thank you very much, Hossam, Naveen. Now it's 11:17 here in Evanston. I'm back home. The reason I'm not showing my ugly face on the screen is because I've got herpes.
Oh.
Shingles.
Okay, we will. So you will get we wish you get well soon. Wishes recovery.
Yeah.
Speedy recovery.
As you know,
Speedy
shingles is a
recovery.
result of low immunity levels, probably due to my intensive travel and constant changes of temperature of the places I go to. But I'm here to recover and be ready for the International Assembly in a couple of weeks. So that's the reason I'm not showing my ugly face, because it's even uglier than usual.
No. You I'm sure that you look great, no matter.
And thanks for inviting me. I have visited. I came back from Korea last Friday. Korea was the 45th country that I have visited since August 2023, when I was nominated Rotary International President for 25-26. The reason being, as Hossam rightfully said, I am a learner, and I wanted to learn, talking face-to-face with Rotarians all around the planet, about the reasons for our stagnant membership levels. Because I know one size doesn't fit all. We cannot, from Evanston or from US, dictate a rule that applies everywhere, because the realities in different Rotaries around the world are completely different. There are challenges, and at the same time, there are opportunities for everyone. I will name just a few that are results of my travels around the planet, what they have taught me. There are countries, for instance, I've been to Romania. Romania is very interesting. It's one district, has a little over 2,400 Rotarians, but has a potential to grow in the future that is astonishing. They have 6,000 members of Rotaract and Interact. The reason being, they have 2.5 times the workforce amongst younger people than they have in Rotary, which is a very good audience for potential Rotarians in the future. It's very interesting to notice that the country developed such a culture fond of younger people. They stimulate participation of Rotaractors and Interactors and youth exchange returnees like myself to be engaged very early on with Rotary. So that's one case that I thought was very interesting. And this is pretty much widespread in Eastern European countries. You know, Czech Republic, Romania, Moldova, Hungary, even Austria to some extent. The reality is different, for instance, in Germany, which I also visited. Germany is doing very well. Their membership grew from 42,000 members in 2004 to 58,000 members currently. So they grew 16,000 members net over a period of 20 years and still keep the formula of Rotary only being a CEO place. It was very interesting. I was in Vienna, Austria, and we had a meeting with the CEO of Microsoft in Austria. Microsoft in Austria has 900 employees and is a very large company, as you all know. But he told me and we had a meeting with 10 or 12 CEOs from different companies around Austria. 5 of them were Rotarians, 7 of them not Rotarians. And the 7 that were non-Rotarians said, we wish Rotary would be more flexible because we cannot commit to a weekly meeting. To me, that was an indication that Rotary in Austria has a tremendous opportunity. And for that matter, Germany also, if they make more flexible clubs, like satellite clubs, like younger member clubs. So there is an opportunity to increase membership in those countries that is extraordinary. Although Germany is doing very well, I think there is a microphone that is interfering.
Farahat, you're not on mute. Would you kindly switch off the microphone? Thank you.
Thank you. So just to show you that the outlook of Rotary in terms of membership in different countries vary extremely.
Omar, please, Mario, please. Would you please, everybody, make sure that you are on mute, please? Thank you.
Okay. This initial questioning started with a research that I did in terms of membership worldwide. And we have 3 different scenarios. One scenario is the growing membership in Asia. Taiwan, 127%. India, 102%. Philippines, 52%. Korea, 35%. And this growth is over the last 20 years, not one single year. Meaning I eliminated the yearly factor because I don't believe in, I don't believe in membership growing from one year to the other. Membership development is a long-term process. So I took 20-year range to analyze. So membership growth is basically concentrated in some countries in Eastern Europe, Germany and some of the Eastern countries that I visited. Also because Rotary has been introduced in these countries over the last 30 years after they were drawn out of the Iron Curtain. So Rotary is kind of a recent organization in those countries. And that may be one of the reasons they are growing and they are incorporating so many younger people. The only falling membership in Asia is Japan, which I visited a couple of weeks ago. Japan has a tremendous opportunity to grow in terms of membership because it has only 8% female participation. You were talking from Egypt. Egypt is a very interesting case. Egypt has 51% female. Egypt today has a majority of women Rotarians, which is very interesting. And it kind of knocks down the famous fallacy that Muslim countries do not admit women into Rotary. So it's very interesting to notice that Egypt has a majority of female members in Rotary, which is a good example to the rest of the world. Japan has only 8%. And that's one of the reasons for falling membership in Japan. They are not renewing their membership base. They don't have Rotaract to speak of. They don't have Interact to speak of. So they are not nurturing future generations to grow into Rotary. So they descended from 130,000 members in 1996 to 83,000 this year, 2024. So that's a huge drop, 47,000 member loss. It's like 20 districts they lost over the last 28 years. The outlook is different, for instance, in US. US is on the opposite side of a falling membership trend, along with Great Britain and Ireland, Australia and New Zealand, and Canada, basically. Those are the countries where Rotary is losing membership. we can only investigate some of the reasons, one of them being they are not quick enough to adapt to a changing society, to a changing community. I faced a lot of opposition from old leaders in the US and Canada and Great Britain and Ireland especially, resistance to change. This is our biggest threat. Old leaders are very resistant to change, to adopt new models, new club formats, new ways to make Rotary. They are too formal. They are still with an old agenda. They don't appeal to younger members. And sometimes they don't seem interested to appeal to younger members, which is one of the main reasons for the falling membership on these countries. And then we have in the middle some of the countries where membership is stabilized or stagnant. If you call it stabilized, people just feel comfortable, so I call them stagnant to dare them to grow. And amongst those countries is my own country, Brazil, which has had 51,000 members for the last 20 years. And that's not acceptable. And Brazil is having a plan to increase membership to 60,000 in 3 years. And that's what we have to do. We have to have plans. We cannot trust only existing clubs to grow. I'm a big fan of club environment, club experience, retention. I'm a big fan, but I really don't rely on clubs, existing clubs, to grow Rotary. Because what can I do as president-elect to change the club experience of Omar's club? I cannot do anything. I can just motivate, inspire, and challenge. But I don't have actual power, authority over any club around the world to force them to increase membership. I can only motivate. However, on the creation of new clubs, I can incentivize my district governors, and that's what I will do in a couple of weeks in Orlando, to create new clubs. There is a very strong statistics in Rotary, which I have in my own hands. The countries which experience the highest membership growth, not coincidentally, are also the countries which create the vast majority of new clubs. And I'll give you two numbers so you can compare. India, which has more than double its membership over the last 20 years, created 628 clubs in 2 years. Great Britain and Ireland, in the same period, created 9 clubs. Which one is growing? Of course, India. Great Britain and Ireland, by creating 9 clubs, they haven't even offset the number of clubs that were closed. So the trend of membership is down, and it's no rocket science. We just have to look at the numbers to analyze what's the trend. So my main speech at the International Assembly directed the district governors will be 9 ways to increase our membership. And the number one, and I think it's a district governor's job, an assistant district governor's job, is to create new clubs. I said that in Germany, you've grown from 42 to 58,000, but you still reject people under 40 in Rotary clubs in Germany. I was inducted in Rotary when I was 23, as you all know. So I don't see reason why you can reject somebody under 40 to be a member of Rotary, or to be a member of Rotary anywhere on the planet. They're doing well, but they could do even better. Because there's only one truth that hovers above us all. Nobody here in this meeting is growing any younger. Even younger people are growing old one day at a time. So our mission is to create an environment to welcome younger members because they're going to be our successors. We don't own the club. the club is not our possession. We're only keeping it for the next generation. And we have to pave the way for younger members to be attracted to Rotary. And today, as you know, society changes very quickly. And younger people might not be as interested in Rotary as our generation was. There are other ways to accomplish service to the community less complicated than Rotary. So we are facing competition. And we must realize that. You know, we must step down from the pedestal to reach the ground floor and talk to younger people and say, what do you want? On the other hand, I want Rotaractors to move and not sit back, relax, and complain. I told to several Rotaract meetings all over the place, saying, if you're complaining about your club, there's no objection for you to charter a new club with your fellow members, your friends, your colleagues. You don't have to ask for permission. You can start a new club, Rotary Club, out of a Rotaract club. As you all know, it's in our code of policies. So it's very comfortable for younger people also to sit back and complain and whine. Crying and whining will not solve the problem. They have to be engaged to Rotary as soon as they have a professional life. They don't have to be wealthy and rich and well-established in life to be a Rotarian. But for that, we have to make our clubs more flexible. You don't have to pay $150 or $200 a month to be a Rotarian. There are cheaper ways, more flexible ways to become a Rotarian. And that's the reason we have to think of new flexible formats. And I'll give you another number. I did a research, and I found out that only 9,000 members of Rotarians worldwide belong to satellite clubs. 9,000 out of 1.2 million. And that format has been available for quite some time. Why isn't it not being used? Is it because of the president? He or she doesn't mention the possibility? Okay, I will mention the possibility in my main speech. So there are several tools that we can use. Another tool, for instance, is what is happening to the original clubs in the countries. I can mention two honorable exceptions. The Rotary Club of Istanbul in Turkey, which I visited, which has 280 members plus, and the Rotary Club of Buenos Aires in Argentina, which has 250 members plus. It's very rare that you find a club that still holds a high membership number, original clubs. No, the clubs that started Rotary in the country, which is the case of Istanbul and which is the case of Buenos Aires. In Brazil, for instance, the Rotary Club of Rio de Janeiro, which is 101 years old, 102 years old now in February, usually had 350 members. Last time I visited the Rotary Club of Rio, they had 95. The Rotary Club of Sao Paulo, which is the second in the country, when they celebrated 50 years of age, they had 504 members. Today they have 81. What happened to these clubs? They were number one in their respective territories. Why didn't they have a plan to sustain their membership at high quantity and high quality levels? So we must have a plan. If a club has 500 members, it cannot rely on nature because nature will eliminate some of our members by the action of time. So we must have a plan for any club, even if you have 500 members. We must have a plan for continuity, for new formats. My club had 105 members when I was director of Rotary International 2019, 2021. I challenged my club to set up a satellite club, which became my wife's club. So we grew from 105 to 160 because my wife's club has 55 members. and it is a satellite club, but the number are accounted for in my roster of my club. Surprisingly, they don't want to become an independent club. They want to continue to be a satellite club. So that's thinking outside of the box and hedging against future losses. My club is 75 years old. Some of the members are 80 years old plus. Now, how long can survive? How long are they going to last? Not forever. So we must have a plan and devise new formats to renew and rejuvenate our clubs, which are currently operating well. You know, you change your company when you're doing well, not when you are bankrupt. When you are bankrupt, it's just an emergency plan. I'm giving the clubs an alert and the governors, district governors, an alert. Act upon every club, small clubs, big clubs. Japan, for instance, I learned something very interesting. I talked to a past director, Osawa-san, who is I think, the most respected, besides ex-president, past president Sakuji Tanaka, the most respected leadership in Japan. 20 years ago, he was already 72 because he's 92 today. He chartered a club formed only by alumni of Rotary, Rotaractors, alumni of the Rotary Foundation, youth exchange students who return, you know, RILA members, everything. And this motto is spread throughout Japan. Today, they have 40 clubs with that format. Of course, they are 20 years older now. So we must count on devising new formats of engaging members, because with time, everything becomes obsolete. Another way to increase Rotary is, why don't we engage, don't we connect with professional associations and business associations? For instance, I was the president of the Printing Association in Brazil, like you can read in my bio. There were very few Rotarians on the board, and they're all leaders, quality leaders, because they lead their businesses and their state. In Brazil, we have 27 states. So I had 27 members on the board. Only 3 were Rotarians. We should have at least 13 or 14 Rotarians on the board, because Rotary looks for leaders. And those places are places of leadership. Professional associations like the bar for lawyers, or the engineers council for engineers, or the architects, or the dentists, whatever we're talking about. Those are the places which hold the most leadership in their respective professions. And that's what we are looking for in Rotary since our inception in 1905, business and professional leaders. So those places are enclaves of professional leaders. Why don't we connect with them? Why don't we look out for them? Why don't we do a presentation to them, what Rotary is all about? So we must get a little anxious. We must get a little sense of urgency before it's too late. And we must have developed special plans for countries which are experiencing a membership drop in Rotary, which are the countries that I mentioned. So basically, you know, I could speak for 2 hours now, but I know you have a time limit. And
no, we don't have time limit for you, our president. We maybe we are afraid that you have a time limit.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's why.
I do, because I have a following meeting in the sequence.
I'm sure you have the busiest schedule ever during your time of presidency.
Yeah. But thank you for your attention. I just threw in some ideas, but just to finalize, we have extremely different scenarios from country to country, from district to district, even from club to club. But if there is a common line that guarantees success, and that applies in Egypt, in the US, in Brazil, in Japan, or in Greece, a good line of leadership. 2 or 3 bad leaders can destroy a club, can destroy a district, can destroy a zone. So that's what I found of commonality amongst districts that are successful, clubs that are successful. We don't have a recipe for a success of the club. Each club has its own model of success. And I, as president-elect, have to respect that because results explain success or failure. So the clubs that are successful, I don't have to dictate. I don't have to tell them what to do. But I have to open their eyes for potential future flaws like the Rotary Club of Sao Paulo that I mentioned. And what I can tell is a good line of district governors. They don't have to be all equal. They don't have to be all in agreement, but they have to be all in alignment. We cannot destroy a district or a club by conflict amongst 2 people. We don't have this right. I don't have the right to destroy Rotary because I do not always agree with Stephanie. And I do not always agree with Stephanie. But that's nature, that's human. We are all free thinkers. But we have to grow respect for the institution and preserve the institution above our personal wishes and whims. That's what I'll be asking my district governors in 2 weeks. Create a positive line of succession of leadership in your district. That will guarantee a good future for your district in terms of membership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mario, for the very informative session. It really revealed some of the the thoughts and some of the directions that we'll be examining in 2 weeks in Orlando. So I have me and the other DGEs attending have a sneak peek on what we are expecting over there. Thank you very much. I will open right now the floor for questions. I would really appreciate if there are questions, short, to the point, and precise in the time span in order to not to overload our Rotary International elect Mario. I am seeing Dr. Dafir Al-Omran.
Yes, thank you very much, DGE Hossam, and thanks a lot for our RIPE Mario, and I hope you feel well, Mario, soon. We wish you all the best. And thank you for a wonderful presentation, very informative. Thank you very much. I agreed with most of what you have said today. And I'd like to emphasize that in our club or any club, but at least I'm from Bahrain. By the way, Bahrain, just because I'm the first time on board with you, we have 3 clubs in Bahrain, Manama, Salmaniya, and Sif. We used to have a Adliya club, but has been closed. By the way, one of the problems, Mario, I feel that been unable to have a healthy club, because this is our image, public image. People look at the club from outside. To enter and to join and to have more members in the club, you need to make sure that the club is healthy. The people in the club feel loyalty to their club, loyalty to each other. There needs to be team. The team has to be a coherent team. No conflict, as you have mentioned in your presentation. And we all do not own our club. The club is for everybody. The club is not for the president himself, or not even for the board, or not for, it's for everybody. The club to succeed, everybody has to feel that he is important in his club. So one of the things that we are missing these days, Mario, and maybe we need your help in the future, is the proper classification of members when we bring them to inside to the club. Unfortunately, we used to have heavy duty Rotarians, and it's becoming, it's fading little by little because we are not being still sticking to the rules of Rotary and concentrating on proper classification and having the right people to be in your club so that your club succeeds. So I wanted to share this with you, Mario, and thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zafar. Mario, please.
Yeah. You know, one of the lessons that I've learned is that there is no 100% sure recipe for club success. Every club, every district develops its own formula. And I have seen models that are completely different, being successful or failing totally in their mission to increase membership. It's very interesting that we have some. What calls my attention most is the opportunities that are out there. In different scenarios, there are always opportunities. I mentioned Japan with its possibility of increasing female membership, which would probably restore some of the lost members that they've lost over the years. And that's basically a mindset. That's our resistance mostly comes from our mindset, from our attitude, from the way we think. If we can change our mindset and be more flexible and be more welcoming, we'll be guaranteeing our future in Rotary, because the society, the community around us changes. And you mentioned classification. Classification today is a guideline. I mean, I have clubs formed within universities, formed within hospitals. So they no longer follow the rule on having a diversity of membership. What should we do with those clubs? I had a club formed in a university hospital in Ribeirão Preto, São Paulo. Was very interesting because we gave them a global grants. We gave them I think was a scanner of some sort to detect, to help pregnant women in the hospital. It's a state-owned hospital, so the government never has the money to invest in equipment. They always payroll. It's always payroll, right? So the Rotary Foundation gave them this equipment for the hospital, which is both a university hospital and a hospital by itself. And the members of the hospital, I mean the doctors, the head nurses, the administrators, the lawyers of the hospital, the professors at the university asked, we've never heard about Rotary, and you, out of the blue, came here and gave us $125,000 equipment. The equipment that we should have received from the government. But allegedly, they never have the money for investment. They always are paying for current expenses. So it's very interesting institution. How can we form a Rotary Club? So they formed a Rotary Club inside the university and the hospital. Of course, we try to diversify as much as we could the classification process. But our concept of classification today is very flexible. You can have a doctor, a pediatrician, a cancer oncologist, a cardiac doctor, a surgeon. You can have the head nurse. You can have the lawyer of the hospital. You can have the teacher at the university, the medicine university. So it's not, if we are going to follow our early classification systems, that club would not be admissible, would not be acceptable. You remember, when I was inducted into Rotary in 1980, we could only occupy 10% of our membership in each club with one single profession. Mm-hmm. Today, that rule no longer stands. So I would like to think that we use our classification to promote diversity of opinions, which is still a valid truth, but we cannot forbid people to join a Rotary Club because there are 50% doctors or 50% professors. Because that's what the business model, that's what the enterprise model, that's what the cause-based model club will eventually produce. Clubs with less diversity in terms of classification, but still fulfilling the Rotary job, which is serve the community. We have to be more flexible. And that's what our fourth pillar of the action plan stands. We have to think of more flexible clubs. In some areas of the world, that will be more applicable than others. But we, as a president, I have to look at different scenarios with the different eyes. What is good for Brazil may not good for Egypt or may not good for Turkey. So we have to be flexible enough to adapt to the local constituents, to the local faith, to the local characteristics of our community. So that's what I think.
Thank you so much, Mario, for the beautiful and insightful
Thank you.
answer. I have another question. Unfortunately, we have only 5 more minutes on this meeting according to Mario's schedule. I can see a question from Lamia Eid from Rotary Club of Cairo North in Egypt, District 2451. Lamia says that as Rotary evolves in a rapidly changing world, where do you envision our organization in the next decade? Mario, the floor is yours.
Oh, I see it happening already. As it is happening with the economy. During my visit, I visited China, continental China, mainland China.
Mm-hmm.
China has 570 Rotarians only. Lions has 36,000 Lions in China. We have 28 clubs. Lions has 1,245 clubs. So can we despise China as a potential growth for Rotary? No. We have to look for uncharted territory. We have to look for, we have a district governor from Bahrain. Why is our president in the Middle East so small? Why haven't we gotten into Saudi Arabia, which is a rich country today? Why aren't we expanding more into Arab countries? Those are all possibilities for growth. And when I was in Shanghai, I visited the Bank of BRICS, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, which today encompasses a lot more countries. So what I see in Rotary is the direction the world is taking. Less concentration in some countries and a better distribution of wealth, a better distribution of opportunities, a better distribution of economic value in some different countries. And if Rotary denies this, that's because we are willing to keep our mindset in the past. We have to recognize that the world, economically speaking, is changing. And we have to go to countries where Rotary was not present, and to countries where Rotary presence is still very low. So I see a lot of opportunities going to uncharted territories, as I call them. We have to go into uncharted territories. We have to have more female members. We have to have more younger people with a directed action, not waiting for Rotaractors to join us. We must have a plan, to bridge the gap between Rotaract and Rotarians. Our turnout rate, our adoption rate of Rotaractors into Rotary is less than 5%, which is ridiculous. I mean, we change these people's lives and they don't go into Rotary. What are we doing wrong? Or are we picking the wrong Rotaractors to be Rotaractors? Because to me, Rotaractors are potential Rotarians 10 years down the road. If they don't turn into Rotarians, I must facilitate the way for them to become Rotarians. And then I will demand or I will deliver saying, we expect you to become future Rotarians. And that's also the message I will give them in the assembly. We are investing $200,000 out of my own budget to bring Rotaractors back into the assembly. But that's an investment. That's not a gift. I want these Rotaractors, 34 that were handpicked all around the globe, to come back to their districts and places and countries and evangelize the Rotaractors to become future Rotarians. That's my return on investment. That's what I imagine Rotary 10 years down the road. Bridging more countries, growing countries where we are too small, bringing in more female members, bringing in more younger members, spreading our presence, for instance, in Africa, which is a potential for growth, not only economically speaking, but Rotary speaking. We must tune in what is happening with the world and not focus only North America and Canada, where membership is falling. We have the emerging forces of BRICS today in the economic world that are an alternative to the G7. Today, the joint GDP of those countries, the BRICS, surpass the G7 GDP. And I'm talking about China, about Russia, about Brazil, about India, which is an emerging power. And you know how well Rotary is doing in India. So I see Rotary really transformed in the next 10 years, following the transformation that the world is undergoing.
Thank you very much, Rotary International President-elect, for the informative session one more time. I know because of the time span available, I will hand over the meeting to Dr. Niveen Abdel Khaled for the closeout statement. Please, Niveen.
Thank you, DGE Hossam, for the introducing and leading and the Q&A session. Thank you very much, Rotary International President-elect Mario, for a very insightful and inspirational conversation regarding the membership. Membership definitely is one of the key elements. It is what makes Rotary. And maybe a little note that we can say, you can just put it on the side. One of the challenges, at least in Egypt, that we are facing, because I was the chair of the membership committee a couple of years ago, is language. So Arabic language is not one of the main languages that are there. We know that currently we are not a big number, but English is not spoken by all the people here in Egypt. So if they cannot go into the website, get to know more, they are very excited to be friends of the club. So we have a lot of friends of the clubs of Rotary, but because the lack of languages, this is why we do not have the numbers that we are aiming and we are seeking for. I mean, we can very easily have not less than 10,000 Egyptian Rotarians. In very little time, once we will be able to have the easier communication among the Rotarians. And this is not only here, but I'm sure it's the same within our region, within Lebanon, within Jordan, I mean, English, yes, English is the common language, and French as well. But I think this is one of the key elements. And I'm sure that I'm not going to speak on behalf of Turkey because they are here with us, but I'm sure that also this is the same thing. And maybe I'll just say this is a little bit one of the things I'll make use that, I mean, to say that I am the charter chair of the newly founded Artificial Intelligence Rotary Fellowship. And this is one of the things that we are aiming to see how we can make use of AI in actually facilitating and ensuring that we will have the Arabic language within the website and within the learning center there, and the other languages. I mean, it is not only the Arabic that is needed. Turkish is needed, other languages that are there, that are needed, that can really be, I mean, of use and can increase the membership, because one of the things that attract members as well is the learning center, and also to be able to have the access to knowledge. Accessibility to the information is very important. So when you don't feel that you have access to the information of the organization that you are belonging to, this is a challenge. So this is one of the notes that I thought I would I just put. And thank you very much. And I'm really looking forward to the coming year. And I see that there is one hand, and then afterwards I will leave it for our president, Mohammed Kamal, to close the meeting. And I'm really thankful to everyone who has been with us from the last part of the world, from the east to the west, and all over the place. So we have Osama Murad. Yes.
No.
Please.
مرحبا مساء
لا
الخير.
أسامة.
Hello.
أسامة
Hi
معين.
Naveen.
Yes.
Hi Naveen. How are you,
Hi,
Naveen?
ازيك. Hello.
Alhamdulillah. Naveen, I just wanted to say that in the last 5 years we have been in Rotary in Bahrain. Of course, Rotary Club of Bahrain is the only club who speaks officially Arabic. We don't
Yeah.
allow any other language, and we are so successful in doing that. Although none of us in the Rotary, or none of our members who doesn't speak one or two languages, extra languages, but we always insist that we speak Arabic, so we attract the Arabic speakers, attract the Arabic language to the region. And this is something we have to do. Yani, you've been mentioning that about the language, and the language, we are so proud that we speak Arabic. So thank you for all of you for your support. When we started our club, you were there, Samir was there, everybody was visiting us in the epidemic, and you supported us in this, and we are still surviving. Alhamdulillah.
Great, great, Moin. And I'm saying that in Egypt, all the clubs speak Arabic officially in their meetings, except only one or two, except very few clubs. We have two English-speaking clubs, one German, one French, and the rest are all officially Arabic-speaking clubs. And what we aim for is that the website and the communication, some of the handbooks were translated, but maybe this is one of the things, and I'm sure that with the presence of our President-elect Mario, maybe this is something, a note aside that he can have, that we can see what we can do with it. So we'll hand this to our President, Mohammed Kamal, who will be closing the meeting. And thank you all for being here, and looking forward to seeing you soon in another meeting. Mohammed Kamal, our president, to close the closing notes. Mohammed, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, I can see you. Great.
I apologize for being 5 minutes late. You started without me. I can see many faces of old friends and new friends. First, I'd like to thank, of course, our President-elect Mario. Your session was very informative, and you gave us hope that in Egypt, at least you have a little bit of hope in acquiring new members. Okay, since we are really a very young society. Of course, I would like to thank DGE Hossam Farahat for being a wonderful moderator as usual. Okay. Naveen, thank you very, very much. Without you, we cannot have all of such beautiful sessions, because Naveen Abdel Khali is really the power behind these sessions. This is the third meeting which was wonderful, of course. I wish to thank all of everyone that attended. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending and for making it really a successful meeting. And we hope to see you soon.
Great.
Thank you very much. Naveen,
Thank you
would
very
you like
much.
to
I'd
say
like
something?
to, excuse me? Yes.
Would you like to say something?
No, that's it. I'm only saying that we are looking forward to seeing everyone in our coming meetings. Soon we will say what we'll be
Absolutely.
focusing on next time.
Naveen, we are also looking forward to see you all in Istanbul in the Presidential Peace Conference, which is coming soon.
Yeah, and we are looking forward to having our coming twinning meeting that is going to be on the 10th, I think. That's the date that we are going to have. So we are really looking forward to this, and I hope all will be fine with all of us. And as we go along, we try to actually show the magic of Rotary. Thank you very much, and thank you for everyone. Thank you, President Mario. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye. See you all soon.
Bye-bye,
See you all very
everyone.
soon.
Bye-bye, Naveen.
Bye, Naveen.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Naveen.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. See. Hi, Bill. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
شكراً يا نيفين.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
شكرا
Sam.
DGE يا
Thank you.
حسام.
Bye.
دكتور حسام حبيبي.
أهلا وسهلا أهلا وسهلا. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.